What if the reason you didn't get that apartment wasn't your income, but a secret score you've never even seen? You think you know the game. Pay your bills on time. Keep credit card balances low. Watch that FICO score like a hawk. You've done everything right, building a score north of 800. You are a financial master. Then one day, you apply for a new insurance policy, and you get denied. Or you get a quote that's twice what your neighbor pays, even though you have the same car and a perfect driving record. You call to ask why. They give you a vague answer about their internal risk assessment. You check your credit score again, still pristine. So what happened? The truth is, your FICO score is just one number. A single data point in a vast, hidden universe of data that's being collected and sold about you every single second of every single day. This is the Great Data Heist. It isn't a single event. It's a quiet, constant theft of your identity, piece by piece, sold to the highest bidder to build a secret resume on you. You have a financial credit score, but you also have a consumer score, a risk score, a wellness score, dozens of them. They're created by companies you've never heard of, companies called data brokers. These aren't your friendly neighborhood credit bureaus like Experian or TransUnion. These are information giants. Think of companies like LexisNexis, CoreLogic, and Axiom. Their entire business is knowing you better than you know yourself. They know what you buy. They know where you live. They know what magazines you subscribe to, what websites you visit, what car you drive, and even the likely value of your home. They scrape public records for your marriage license, any court filings, your property deeds. They buy your purchase history from retailers. They track your online behavior. They pull it all together, feeding it into a complex algorithm. And that algorithm spits out a score, a number that supposedly predicts your future behavior. LexisNexis Solutions alone maintains a staggering database containing information on over 282 million unique U.S. consumer identities. They are building a digital ghost of you, and that ghost is making decisions about your life. Let's get specific. You apply for a high-paying job. The company seems impressed, but then the offer never comes. What you don't know is that the employer paid for a background report, not just a criminal check. They purchased a supplementary data report that flagged you as a high churn risk. Why? Because you recently updated your LinkedIn profile. You bought an online course for a new skill. You moved twice in the last 5 years. To an algorithm, these data points don't signal ambition. They signal instability. You're not a person, you're a flight risk. The job goes to someone else. You're left wondering what went wrong. Or think about car insurance. You've never had an accident. 0 tickets. You should be paying the lowest rates possible. But your premium just went up 15%. The reason is buried deep in a data broker's report. This report doesn't just look at you. It looks at your neighborhood. It analyzes the number of accident claims on your block. It tracks the average credit score of the people living in your zip code. It even considers the types of cars most commonly financed in your area. Your perfect record is irrelevant. The algorithm has decided you live in a high-risk territory, so you have to pay for the perceived sins of your neighbors. You are being judged by data you cannot control. This is where the heist becomes personal. The entire data brokerage industry is a global machine worth over $285 billion. It thrives in the shadows. These companies argue they simply provide valuable insights for businesses to manage risk. But what they're really doing is creating a system of digital discrimination, a system where you can be penalized not for what you've done, but for what an algorithm predicts you might do, based on correlations that can be meaningless. Do you own a cat and subscribe to a science fiction magazine? One algorithm might decide you're more likely to be a responsible renter. Did you recently search for debt consolidation out of pure curiosity? Another algorithm might flag you as a financial risk to a potential lender, even if your accounts are all in perfect order. The most terrifying part isn't just that they have the data, it's the errors. A study by the Federal Trade Commission found that 1 in 5 consumers had a confirmed error on their traditional credit report. Now, imagine that problem scaled across the thousands of databases held by over 4,000 different data broker companies. A simple typo in a public record could list a John Smith at your address with a bankruptcy. Suddenly, you're getting denied for loans. An automated data scraper might mistakenly link your social media profile to someone with the same name who posts inflammatory content. Now, you can't get a job, and you have no idea why. You are fighting a shadow, trying to prove your innocence against a machine that has already declared you guilty. This is the climax of the heist. The moment you realize your financial reputation is no longer in your hands. It's splintered into 1,000 pieces, held in servers all over the world, being bought and sold by companies you will never interact with. It's a score that follows you everywhere, whispering to landlords, employers, and insurers. And it's built on a version of you that might not even be real. You've become a product. Your life's experiences, your habits, your triumphs, and your mistakes all boiled down to a few digits that determine what doors will open for you and which will slam shut in your face. But this is not a life sentence. The shadows only have power when you don't look at them. The same law that gives you power over your main credit report, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, also applies to these specialty agencies. You have the right to see your file. You have the right to know what they are saying about you. You can't fight an enemy you can't see. So, it is time to turn on the lights. You need to request your report, not just from Experian. You need to go to the source. Go to the websites for LexisNexis and CoreLogic. They have legally mandated portals where you can request a free copy of your consumer file once every 12 months. The process is tedious. They will ask for personal information to verify your identity. Do it. When you get that report, it won't be a simple score. It will be a dense document, pages long, filled with raw data. It will show past addresses, property records, insurance claims, and sometimes more. Go through it line by line. Look for errors. Is there an address you never lived at? A court record that isn't yours? A mistaken lien on a property? If you find an error, dispute it. By law, they have about 30 days to investigate and correct it. You must do this in writing. Send a certified letter. Create a paper trail. This is how you reclaim your story. This is how you fix the digital ghost. You are auditing your own life, taking back the narrative from the machine. It requires effort. It requires patience. But it is the single most powerful thing you can do. You are telling these billion-dollar companies that your identity is not for sale, and their version of you is wrong. This isn't just about fixing a score. It's about a fundamental shift in understanding. Your financial health isn't just about debt and income anymore. It's about data. It's about understanding that every online form you fill out, every loyalty card you swipe, every public record filed, becomes a permanent part of your secret resume. Taking control starts with demanding transparency. It starts with you, today, requesting your file and challenging the data that controls your destiny. This is an ongoing fight, and knowledge is your best weapon. Don't let an algorithm have the final say on your life. Share what you find out and what you've learned in the comments below to help others on this journey. For more strategies on how to protect your financial identity and win the money game, make sure you subscribe.